Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of Maplelea stuff with you. I'm going to start out by unboxing all my Maplelea Grail dolls. All of them. And from there, I'm going to share a few Maplelea customs I made recently. And then finally, I'm going to unbox a couple Maplelea outfits and try them on American Girl dolls just in case you saw these on the site and were curious how they might fit American Girl dolls. And I should warn you that when I unbox the Grails, I am so hyper. So hyper I had to come back and record another intro because I just jumped right in. I forgot to say all the stuff that I wanted to do. I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about because I'm just going to roll right into that original intro right now. Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing a really wild and fun Grail shopping experience I recently had. It's all these dolls here right here beside me, dolls I didn't really think I'd ever own, and then I got them all in one place. So I'm going to tell the whole story as I go. It's going to be pretty long. I'm going to unbox and talk. So I want to jump right in because the truth is I was so excited about this. I had to wait a couple days for the adrenaline to wear off so that I can be composed enough to actually sit in front of a camera and do the unboxings. So I'm going to start the story with this doll because there's a little bit of a prologue, I guess you could say, or a prequel, no, a prologue, as to how I ended up getting these dolls. It's tied to it in a really funny way. So, I should have said. So these are the Maplelea Friends dolls, which is what they used to be called before Maplelea and Me. And I've opened up Maplelea and Me dolls on here, and just the boxes are different. So I probably should have. See, I'm already all over the place and excited. So this is the old box. This is what they used to look like. Probably like 2018 or so before that. So now let me show you the first doll, and then try to get back to that story. It's gonna be a mess in here. I know that. So this is KMF31. So Maplelea Friend 31. And as you can see, she's a Friends 2 mold with black hair and brown eyes. And that's kind of where the story begins. So my last video was pretty much a compilation of a bunch of unboxings I had done over the last couple months or so. And in it, I talked about one of my trips to Maplelea where I saw some test heads. So they were dolls I have never seen, with certain wig colors and skin tones. And when I was there, they were all kind of sorted. The black-haired, brown-eyed dolls were on one end, and then the lighter-eyed dolls were on the other end. So when they were asking me what I felt about the dolls, I kind of stopped there and I said, "Oh, look at this doll. This is my favorite. I love dolls with black hair and brown eyes." So one of the girls who worked there, she was like, "Oh, then you'd probably really like this doll." And she went to the back warehouse and brought out the KMF31, but with no clothes. And I, being a ridiculous person who always gets excited over dolls, was like, "Yes, that's KMF31. She's at the top of my wish list." And so her face just like deflated, as in like, "Oh no, I just, that sign probably popped in her head. I just teased the animals." And she was like, "Oh, I can't sell you this doll. This is a spa doll." And I was like, "Oh, no, sorry. I didn't. I just thought you were bringing her out." So it was just an awkward moment that was kind of funny because she was just trying to show me older dolls that I might like, because there are dolls out there exist with black hair and brown eyes. So I was like, "Oh, yes, I did know about her. I've seen her. I saw her go for sale in a doll group recently. I really do like that one." And she's like, "Yeah, if I ever see one, I'll let you know." And I was like, "It's okay, don't worry. I just got excited because I get excited about dolls." So it's funny that the story kind of starts there because when I shared that video, somebody reached out to me through Instagram saying they had seen, I'm not concentrating, I'm like, I untwisted it and I was twisting it up the other way. Too excited. So they messaged me on Instagram to say that, they watch my Maplelea videos. Their daughter used to collect Maplelea when she was young and aged out of them. And she said, I heard that you like dolls with black hair and brown eyes, and I have one that you might like. And this is the doll. So I didn't tell them the story, and I don't know how much they watch my videos or if they're going to be watching right now. And if so, I'm really sorry they're going to have to hear all this because you're not going to know. You didn't know my my inner dialogue while we were going through all this. So anyway, I knew. So she said she had older. So another thing is, I think it was a female I was talking to through messaging and then through emails, and then the person I actually met up with was a male. So I'm thinking it was a parent. I talked to the mom online, met the father in person. So if I'm switching pronouns, that's why. So she said that she had other older dolls. Let me know if there are any others that are on my wish list. And, I'm not going to take any of the journals. It's going to be too much. but maybe I'll show some after, because there are other things I'm going to do after I unbox all these dolls. So she said, send me your wish list and I'll see if she has any that, you know, she didn't get to before she grew out of them. And so I did. I think I'd only sent like 4 or 5 dolls, not expecting really anything to come of it, because these are the dolls that I want are like old. Older as in as far back as the first wave of Maplelea Me dolls back in 2012, I think is when they started, 2013, around there. So I just thought, what are the chances? Whatever. And so we were making a plan to meet up for me to buy this doll. And I didn't even ask like what other dolls she had. I just was excited to get the one, especially because of that time I embarrassed myself at Maplelea thinking they were pulling up this doll for me to buy. So entitled. And so when I got there to the front of the house, there was like the stack of boxes that you see beside me. And so now he pulled out, they used to have a lot more packaging on them. So this is just take a little pause, say that this is the old starter outfit for the Maplelea and Me dolls, the Maplelea friend dolls, before they switched to the striped shirt and the vest and the sort of tight pants that I usually show when I'm unboxing them on here. Oh, okay, so it's like a sock. So 4 boxes, I should say, and I was like, oh, they really weren't kidding about having other old dolls, and they're still in their boxes. That's so cool. So first he pulls out this doll, and I said, oh yeah, that's the one. That's the KMF31 that I wanted. I'll buy it. How much? Like, I didn't even discuss the price. I was so excited to just get the doll. I mean, whatever price people want, there's not much choice I have in it, but you'd think I'd be a little bit of a savvier buyer. And so we said that he did want the retail, you know, what they spent on it back when she was still into dolls. And I was like, oh, is that like 125? He's like, no, she was 100. And I was like, because I forgot that the old price of the dolls was $100. So I'm already getting a retired doll. So I really want to see her open and free. And now I'm getting it for like the old price, instead of thinking I'm going to have to pay more because it's a retired doll that you can't get anymore. I mean, you never know if they're going to bring back this sort of design, because they do sometimes make similar or repeat dolls. But regardless, I saw there was another box. There were other boxes underneath hers. So now I can take off her wig net. Oh yeah, sometimes they don't always have wig nets. Finally get to see her. Oh, she's really pretty. And I saw her at one of the spa dolls. But you know, it's different when it's yours. Look how pretty she is. So now I have, let me bring her closer in case you care. Or if you just want to hear me ramble and gush over my new doll. Oh, her hair's layered. Anyway, I'm so excited to have this doll. No name or anything picked out yet because, like I said, I've had these dolls for a few days and I'm just trying to calm down enough to be able to talk about this. I don't think it worked. While I move on to the next doll, because now it so happens that the next point of the story was when he pulled out this doll and said, you said you like dark-haired dolls, so here's another one. Mind you, I had given a wish list, so I didn't think any of the ones that were on my wish list were going to be there. And because I didn't know what doll to expect, when he took off the box, I was so confused about what I was seeing, because this is one of the dolls from my wish list. And I was like, why didn't you just tell me that you had one of my wish list dolls? But maybe they didn't know because they're parents and they don't know what dolls they were. But anyway, so the thing to explain about this doll as I unbox her is this is the Asian mold. So they've done, in the first wave of Maplelea and Me dolls, Maplelea friend dolls, they had two of the doll with this mold, and this is the one that they didn't repeat in the latest wave. So they've only done a shorter haired Asian doll in the first wave. So I believe this is, where did I put her box? KMF10. So that's the other thing. The stickers say on the back of the box what number's inside. So this is KMF10, and then I think KMF9 would have been the long-haired one with the bangs. It's similar to the doll I have now, except the old Asian dolls had a little bit of a deeper skin tone, whereas the new doll I already have is very, very pale, very pretty. So it's the variation for me that I was so excited to when he opened the box. But I was so confused because I was like, well, I don't think that's my doll. Is this an old? Because there's this old. So this is Friends Mold 2, and the first wave of dolls had Friends Mold 1, who I'll show later. So at first I thought this was a Friends Mold 1 doll because I was overstimulated seeing another doll, all these boxes of dolls, and I knew that I was getting the one that I wanted, and I didn't know what else was in there. Like I said, overly stimulated. So I feel like I wasn't really grasping in the moment. And I was like, well, wait a minute, this is the Asian doll. It's the one from my wish list. So I was, working through my confusion of, it can't be, because they would have told me, he would have said, the one that was on your wish list. And then it was the one from my wish list. So now I'm finally get to see her with her wig. I can't wait to take off the plastic arms. I might not even continue with the arms. You've seen them all. You've seen the process of deboxing. So let me bring her forward, because look at this beautiful wig. She looks so different from my KMF38, which is the current East Asian friend doll. And I think her name's going to be Angel. I'm going to spend some time with her, but I'm thinking she's going to be Filipina instead of, because my other, the 68 is Chinese in my store, my doll story. It's like I'm already like shaking as I'm talking about it because I'm so excited. And now the next one really confused me because, so when he pulled her out, at least I had a little bit of a warning. He said, you also say in your videos that you like redhead dolls. And I do. I love redhead dolls, aside from dolls with black hair and brown eyes. And so when he opened this box, I didn't really know who I was seeing. But I was really, so kind of, again, the confused and I'm overstimulated. And I was just like, this is a really pretty doll. And so it took me a second to realize that I have what's kind of a newer version. I'm looking in the monitor to see the dolls behind me, but she's not there. I have a sort of version of this doll. So she's red curly hair with freckles. This is KMF28, looking at the sticker on the box. But instead of having the bluish, purplish, confusing eyes that the new doll has, this doll has brown eyes. So I didn't even know this doll existed. The fact is, the wiki for Maplelea is very sparse. Sparse? Is that the right word? Sparse? How do you say it? And so when you look at the dolls that do have pictures, they're not always the clearest pictures. So I knew this doll, like I had probably browsed and seen her, but because the picture I looked after isn't clear, I had no idea that such a cute doll had existed. And had I known she had existed, she definitely would have been on my wish list, my grail list, I guess I could call it. And so it was just another funny moment where I was like, wow, this wasn't on my wish list, but you happen to have this doll that, had I known, this is so wild. So it was just like me kind of freaking out the entire time I'm there. And I'm, okay, so I was trying to act kind of cool, like not my over-the-top, unhinged, doll-loving self. But he kept pulling all these dolls that were just like, whoa, look at this doll. I can't believe you had this doll. And now, like, I didn't even know this doll was here. So I'm finally going to get to see her without her hairnet, which is fun because I haven't seen it. And it's fun that these dolls, one of the dolls I'm going to show you, I know doesn't have a hairnet. She has the plastic wrap that they usually have. Oh, these come off easily. It's so wild. Just that, like, I'm looking at her and she's so cute. And I know we all have our personal biases. And the brown eyes, even though she's quite similar to that other doll I mentioned, my doll I named Hannah, with brown eyes, it's just such a beautiful combination to me. So here comes, oh, her hair is totally different. Oh, her hair is so much nicer. And I like the other dolls, my Hannah doll's hair. But these curls are, wow. It's like, maybe I was better off not knowing this doll existed until I could have her. Because I would have, you'll hear later about what it's like, how I am when I want a doll so badly. So anyway, let me bring her up. I don't have any kind of name planned at all. But, so this is another Friends 2 mold doll. So like this one and the first one I opened, they're the same mold, but she has a little bit more of a little bit deeper of a skin tone. She's, I would say, kind of similar to my skin tone, at least that's how it looks to me. And they don't have enough dolls with freckles, but when they do, dolls are just so much cuter with freckles. So this is like a perfect doll that I would have, if I could have designed a Friends Mold 2 doll, this is one of the ones I would have like made for myself, this cute red wig. And, well, it's more strawberry blonde, but a little bit on the redder side. So funny. I'm just gonna put her here for a minute because I have, well, you know what? I might have to move them out of the way because the last two dolls I have to bring on screen together because this is where the story really confused my brain, and then I'll bring it all up after. So, as I said, the stickers, the doll number is on the back of the box. And so one of the things he kept saying when he brought out all these boxes, he was like, "Oh, I have the dark doll that you wanted, the doll that you sent in your top of your wish list." And so KMF1, who's right here, I'm going to turn around in a second, but first I want to explain KMF1 a little bit, because the thing is, the Friends 1 mold is it's jarring. So it was the original Maplelea and Me mold that they used, and then I think they realized the mold, I'm just going to be honest and kind of blunt here, and it's maybe uncomfortable, it's very masculine. So after the first wave of Maplelea and Me dolls, where they used our Maplelea Friend dolls, they used this mold, and then they updated to that Friend 2 mold, which you saw before. And then when they finally brought back this mold, it was to be boy dolls. So the reason this doll, KMF1, was so at the top of my list is because they have not made a boy doll with a deeper skin tone. So that's why once I knew this doll existed, I'm saying her, but she's going to be a boy. Like I'm going to rewig and make a boy doll, because I variation. I like to have variation in my collection. So I'm going to show you the doll now. And so this is KMF1, and this doll is supposed to be in this box. So just trying to give you a little bit of background before I explain my massive confusion when I open this up. So here's what I'm saying. You could probably tell first of all, it's a masculine sculpt, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure it's not a bad thing to be a girl and have masculine features, but because certain dolls I want like variation of. That's why I'm saying I would really, really wanted this doll. And my original plan, to talk a little bit more about this doll, was to cut the wig, because see, this one is the one I was talking about, where it only has this little plastic thing instead of the hairnet. I was going to cut this wig, but then there are two issues. One, there aren't a lot of doll wigs that are black. And two, the wig is back so far on this doll's head that it's not going to sit right. So I think I'm just going to look for a boy size style wig, cut, with a cut, so that I can keep this wig and use it as a girl wig, because it's nice, it's layered, and I wouldn't want to destroy it when I can just buy another wig and put it in the right place. And I'm getting ahead in the story, but this one, because there was no box, there is a box in a journal, and this is where the story gets confusing. He ended up selling me this one for $70 instead of $100. So it's like, brain is just frying. But before I get to him going back and getting this doll so he said, "Oh, here's the dark doll that you wanted, KMF1, KMF1. So I open it up, and I am so confused. My brain is like, why does she look so different from the pictures? Okay, so this is, to anyone who knows anything about Maplelea, this isn't KMF1. This is my ultimate Maplelea Grail KMF12. This is the Black Canadian mold, and she's the only time they've done a few versions of the Black Canadian doll, the Black Canadian mold doll. I think 4 in total, 3 of which have the same curly black wig, and then this one time they did a longish, straight textured wig. And since they only did her once, I thought I'm never, ever, ever going to find this doll. I can't even find pictures of her. You can't even find real life pictures of her when I Google them or whatever. Wiki has some stock photos, the Maplelea Wiki. So when I opened her up thinking it was KMF1, I was like, oh, she looks so different in person. She's really cute, but I'm so confused. And then, okay, brain overstimulated, keep this in mind. And then I realized it was KMF12, and I got so sad. Like everything, all my excitement just drained from me, because I was like, oh no, I'm having that dream again. So now, other collectors may relate to this. Whenever I collect something and there are a bunch of grails, a bunch of things that I want, but they're really hard to track down. Listen, dolls are important to me. I dream about them sometimes. So I often have this dream when I'm collecting something, and in the dream, I will walk into a store, or I'm going to pick up a doll, and then either the store or the person I'm buying the dolls from will have everything on my wish list. Everything, and it's at retail, it's all cheap, it's good prices. It's like I went into the store and found it, or you know what I mean? Like it wasn't rare at all, or they didn't know, and I got so lucky. So I literally, in that moment, I even stepped back and I was like, oh no, this is that dream again. I don't actually have any of these dolls. And I'm like looking around like, this feels really real this time, because usually when I'm in that dream, and then, again, overstimulated, I'm an unhinged doll person. Nothing gets me excited like my dolls. Well, that's not true, but it's its own truth. And so I'm looking around and I'm like, okay, I've never been here before, like, thinking about the area where I am, but I'm like, this is not a dream. But what's happening? And I'm like, so I said to him, I said, this isn't the same doll. This isn't KMF1. He's like, isn't this your favorite doll? This is the one you said you wanted the most, the dark doll. I'm like, well, this is the, okay, and that's why my brain was being so little. I'm like, this is the black doll. I'm like, I mean, she is my favorite. I'm excited. I can't believe I have her, but she's in the wrong box. And he said, oh yeah, we didn't have a box for her. So we put her in another doll box. And I said, well, where's the doll from it? So we said, we have it. And I said, he was like, do you want that doll? And he looked so like, why would anyone want that doll? And I'm not trying to be shady because I did want this doll, but I know she's very jarring as this way. But I think that's what happened was they knew they had the doll at the top of my list and then some other dolls. And they probably looked at this doll and thought, nobody's going to want this doll. So let's take her out of the box and put her in it. But I didn't, because I was so, coming back to earth and be like, no, this is real. I really am getting this doll. I didn't stop and question enough. I should be opening her because I can't believe I'm sitting here with this. I've had this doll for days and I haven't even like opened her up. I've just been kind of peeking out every once in a while being like, yeah, she's still there. And she's so pretty. I feel like she is the prettiest of the black mold dolls. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just all that wanting of her. So because I was so excited in that moment and trying to figure out, is this real? Am I having a dream? Am I having that annoying dream again? Because I'm not kidding. When I have that dream, I at one point in the dream go, oh, this is a dream. So it really did feel like that dream, and I'm surrounded by boxes. So as he says, well, yeah, we do have that doll if you want it. So he goes back, and I'm still looking at her like, you're real, right? Along with the other dolls too, because all like the East Asian doll and the first doll I showed you, they were dolls I was just like, 31 I thought I would find because she's not that old, but I never dreamed I would find, did I say her number was 10 or 9? 10, I believe. Definitely never thought I would get number 12, to the point where I made a custom recently. I said it doesn't look anything like her, and it doesn't. I'm looking at her now, she's totally different. So he comes back with the doll that you just saw, wrapped up and everything, and I was just so floored. My brain was ready to explode, like jump out of my head because I couldn't take it anymore. And so I didn't think to question, well, where's the, not that because I didn't want to make it sound like I cared about the box. I really didn't. I just cared about the dolls and the fact that they were new, and she still got her plastic wrap. She's got her plastic wrap. So I am a little bit confused. And to the person, if they are watching this, please don't think, I'm not worried about it at all, but I'm just saying in the moment, I probably, if I weren't so overstimulated, would have asked a little bit more about why this one's missing a box. And not that I care, but like, I just would have wanted to have the background. But I think I was, like I've said so many times now, trying to figure out if I really was dreaming. So the fun thing about this, I'm gonna take her hair net out in a second. Like I'm trying to anticipate the moment, I guess. I'm gonna try to, let me open one of these journals. Just because it's my first time, 5 times in a row, or 4 times in a row, getting the purple journal. Because as you can see, their old starter outfits were purple. They had a very purple theme. So I feel like such a brat. Having just, how astonishing is it that, because what I was trying to say, and again, I'm all excited and jittery right now, finally getting to see them open, to the point where I'm trying to delay as long as I can. So this is what the journal looks like for all of them. It's pretty blank, except instead of the new one has like a blue theme, this has more of a purple theme. But other than that, it looks like the same kind of journal as up until this year, the previous one, the floppy blue one. So what was I saying? Yeah, the dream. So what's really cool, because I've always had that dream, is now I've gotten to live it in person, which is so amazing. Like and I hope I'm not the only, sorry, should I say I hope I'm not the only one who's had that dream, just because I want people to understand, if you've ever had that dream, you might know what I was feeling in that moment. And I'm gonna have to come up with some dramatic title just so like it's obvious what this video is about. Okay, fine. I hope I can get the shoe back out. And so I guess it's kind of like proof that you really can have a kind of doll dream come true, is what I'm getting to. And I really want people to see her, even if you don't care much about this doll or these dolls in general, Maplelea. I do want to have the moment when I get to see her open for the first time, because I don't know if I would have wanted to be recording in the moment when I went to pick up these dolls, because I was so, like I said, I was trying to control my cool, but I was failing miserably. All right, I'm gonna, do I want you to see too? Oh, her wig is so nice. So it's medium long, I would say. She looks so different. This is amazing. I can't believe I have this doll. Like, it's, and I think every time I've talked about her, because I've talked about her quite a few times on here, I think anytime, wow, look at the monitor to the point where I can't even get her straight because she's so pretty. I have talked about her quite a few times and just never, with the thought in my brain, like, that I was never going to have her. And anyone out there who's ever found a Grail, and not just a Grail, I found her at the old retail price, the $100 price. Like, they were so nice about it. Like, they didn't need to be that nice, especially because I wasn't playing it cool at all. But I guess they, they were just happy to let these dolls go after all this time because they're old. So I don't know how long. Like I said, I was so excited about the dolls, I didn't get into any of the backgrounds of how long they had it and why things were the way they were. I can't believe I have her. I don't even have a name picked out because I wanted to see her open and spend some time with her before I get to it. And I don't even know what outfits I'm going to put them in. I've just been waiting to calm down, and it didn't help. It did not help. But I'm going to now, as I said, I have more to do. Let me bring out the rest of the girls so I can have them all here in a little family photo video. Because what I'm going to do next is I recently made a few customs, Maplelea customs, because Maplelea had a sale for once. They had all these dolls that had damaged boxes. So they were, I think there were 10 different dolls. This is wild. They had 10 different dolls. It looks so different from my 68. What did I say? They had 10 different dolls. Focus. That were options. They had 10 different doll options that you could choose from. And they were $25 off. So they were the same price as these dolls, $100 each. And so I bought a couple of them, and I already placed an order for 2 other dolls. That one was going to be a custom. One's kind of a custom. And there's a funny story behind the one that's not even a custom, and the one that started it all in this. This is so, I wish I had her name picked out. But I feel like I'm going to have the perfect doll. She'll be the perfect doll to be my witch character at Halloween, because there's a Maplelea witch costume. And I know it's a stereotype, but I like the idea of what would you say this? Like a fair-skinned, dark-haired doll. Because before I had my 68 dressed as that, but my 68 doll is East Asian. So she's, Chinese people have their own idea of what a witch is, and the Maplelea is very westernized idea of what a witch is. Isn't this cool? I'm so amazed. I'm looking at the monitor and like, how do I focus just for one last second? Maybe I should, let me take off all their plastic. This is rude. And at least they're not tied or taped as tight as some of the other ones. I forgot about their feet. So yeah, thank you for letting me act like a fool over these dolls that honestly, I thought I would have been chasing them for years. And to just go in and get them all in one fell swoop, how often does that happen? And if any of you have had a story like that, or even a dream like the one I keep talking about, please tell me. Tell me I'm, especially for the dream part, not alone and kind of normal for a doll collector. I could have, now I wish I had at least taken off this one, plastic, but I wanted it to be obvious that, oh, she was new too. So funny. And let me know what you think of this doll. It's not like, I'm not saying be shady, but what I'm saying is the truth is I have a purpose for it, and I can see how the Friends 1 mold is kind of jarring. But one thing I feel bad about talking about the Friends 1 mold for female is I know that some of these dolls, at least the main core girls, I know that they're sculpted after a real little girl who's not a little girl anymore because it was 20 years ago. So I often wonder if the Friends mold 1 doll was the same thing, if it was based off a real girl. Look how cute she is. I don't know. I look at. I need to bring her back because as her hair is settling, she's got like the best curls. I'm not even getting her at the monitor because I can't. I'm unhinged right now. So anyway, now you can see them all as they're meant to be. Let me get the scissors out of the way. I'll eventually change them, not for the sake of this video, but I'm really excited. Now let me get to my customs. If you're confused because you've seen this doll before and you know she's not a custom, no, she's not the custom. But I have her here because the doll, who's also not really custom, her outfit's a little bit customized. It's because the doll I'm about to bring out is the sort of newer version of this KMF32 doll beside me. but I got to see her in store and I realized, oh, she's not a newer version of her. She's a little bit different. It's just that she has similar color option choices. So that's why. And I have already named her because I've been with her for a few days. Her name is Pooja, which is Hindi. Well, it's a Hindi name meaning prayer or worship. And I put her in, I'm sure you can tell, this is Cubby's Bollywood costume. But what I've done, because the costume has so much potential, it's so nice, but some of it was a little bit cheap, I put Swarovski crystals all over it. So if you look at the tika that's on her forehead that attaches to the veil, that was embroidered. I don't know if it's, even though it's so bright in here, I feel like it doesn't always pick up the sparkle of Swarovski. But so everything that was, whatever was shaped as an embroidered, I just followed the pattern of the embroidery on the tika and added some Swarovski to, I don't know if you can see it here, but all of these little patterns, there was a gold dot in the middle, but when I tried it with gold, you couldn't really see it, so I put blue, and then I gave her some Swarovski around her waistband. So now she really sparkles, and she's a dancer. Well, she likes to dance, not that she's a dancer. And what's funny is I worked so hard on this dress for a couple days to get the outfit. I had to iron everything because when, American Girl outfits come out of a box, they're all creased and folded and they've been there for however long. And I even have a couple American Girl rings on her because they don't have any spread fingers, so you can only put the rings, the American Girl rings that have that split in it, you can only put it on their pointer, like their index finger or their pinky finger. So after I got her all put together, this is what I was trying to tell you. Maplelea sent out an email asking, I think if you're part of their email subscription, you might have seen this email too, asking if you wanted to participate in helping them design their Diwali outfit. After I got through putting together what I guess essentially could be, I've been using it in my Diwali display every year as I've had it. So I went through all the work of making, well, not making this, of improving it in my opinion. And now there might be an actual Maplelea outfit that she could wear one day too. So that's really fun to think about. And oh, you probably can't, it's not picking it up too well, but she's also gave her a little Swarovski nose ring. But I want to think of something better to do. I don't know if you can even see it. Because I would like to do the ear chain, just because I don't see them as children, by the way. I don't see them as like 10. So I think she's a little bit older. I see them as teenagers. So I think that'll be, I'll elaborate her outfit a little bit more in the future. And just so you know, you wouldn't normally wear, if you're dancing or if you're going to temple, you wouldn't wear shoes. But luckily I had these holiday shoes because I just don't, for one thing, I'm not used to their feet yet because they're so long and narrow. And for another thing, when she doesn't have her shoes on, she's slipping all over the place on the doll stand. So for now, I don't know how to do mehendi, I think is how you pronounce it. The henna. I don't know how to do that. If anything, maybe I would paint that on her. I don't know, but I would never. It would take a lot of practice for me to be able to do that in such a small scale on a doll. But anyway, I wanted to have these out here side by side so you can see the difference. I can see the difference between 32, whoop, poor Missy, and 49. So if you, like in terms of their skin tone, surely they do have the similar wigs as in the brown black. They both have brown eyes. My two dolls have different shades of brown. Hers are like a brighter brown and hers are a deeper, like a darker brown. But their skin tones to me are completely different. I would call hers a little bit more of a copper color. Let me bring it up closer. Maybe I should bring them both up together so you can compare them at once. Because I know people have wondered what the differences are between them. And if you look at 49, who's the new doll, hide my big face, she has more of what you would call a wheatish, like a wheatish skin tone, or dusky maybe. Indians call, well, that's people, Indian people I know always refer to this skin tone as wheat, like the color of wheat, I think is where they're saying wheatish. But if I just say wheatish, it doesn't sound right. So I find she has a really nice skin tone to be an Indian character. And that's what I was hoping for when I saw her in store. But it's different when you get things home, right? Things are always different in store. So I'm really glad I took the plunge because at first I was like, oh, she's too similar to 32. What am I going to do with her? And then I got her. And another funny thing I was having a weird time adjusting to was buying repeats of the same mold as if that's something I hadn't done 100 times with American Girl. It's just, the slightest variation that they did with American Girl, I'd be like, oh, look at that hazel eyes instead of green eyes. I gotta have it. So I guess it's kind of like that when you're getting into something new. So now, even though from a distance or, if you don't know the dolls personally, okay, the wigs are quite different now that I'm looking at them because she is up on display. but you know, when you get to that level where you start knowing the dolls more, you start appreciating the subtle details. So I think that's all I have to say about this. It's not a custom. I shouldn't have said that, but the outfit's customized, so maybe that's where I'm saying that. But let me get to actual customs now. It's a fun coincidence that the custom I made beside me right here to sort of emulate KMF12 had to come back for the video because she's part of the story of the custom doll I'm going to bring out here next. And so as you can see, she doesn't look anything like KMF12. And that was the thing I said when I made her, not made her, when I put this wig on her. I said, even if I did come across KMF12, I would still want her because she looks different enough. So now, another warning I should give about customs is customs, at least for me, are all about personalizing your dolls. And this one has I hope it's like a funny personal story. Well, not the story, but the character dynamics between them. It's a dynamic I experienced a lot growing up with my female friends. So as I've shown these dolls before and I talked about how they weren't friends yet because I was waiting for the third character to join them to sort of bridge them to become friends. So this is the custom doll. Put him in such a funny spot. He's a KMF. He's the bald doll. I forget which number he is, but what I wanted to say was he's a Friends 2 mold like she is. And they have not made boys out of the Friends 2 mold, but I'm trying to make a boy doll out of one out of each mold. And so let me bring him close. Another thing I do when I make a boy doll is I will trim their eyelashes so that they can still be long, but I don't want them to curl up and touch their foreheads or their eyelids. And I will also remove, they have these lines painted around their eyes. I don't know if they're supposed to look like makeup or wrinkles, but I just remove them on the boy's eyes. You know, let me show you because they're pretty similar, the boy and the girl. His name's Jeremy and this is Emily. They're brother and sister. I'm not decided if they're twins, but they at least have a family resemblance because they're brother and sister. So I don't know if you can see the difference in their eyelashes and then those lines that are painted around her eyes that I removed from him. And when I saw him, or he's a him now, when I saw him in store, he looked like a completely different skin tone. And he did until I got a wig on him, and now they look like they're the same skin tone. But originally I thought, oh, there's a little bit of variation, but not much. They're pretty similar in skin tone. So the reason they're all wearing pajamas, like slumber sleepwear, is because the dynamic I experienced a lot growing up, I don't know how deeply I need to go into this, is whether any females in my life, whether they were friends or family, like cousins, for example, they were always very jealous and possessive of me around other girls. So, and I'm talking about from when I was like 6 years old. I had two cousins, for example, one from my mom's side, one from my dad's. One lived on my street from my dad's side of my family, and one lived pretty far away on my mom's side of my family. And I ended up living with her when I was around 15, with her and her family. And I don't think they had ever met because they hated each other because I would spend time, you know, and I would spend time with my maternal cousin, my paternal cousin, I hope that's not confusing, would get jealous. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, you're seeing her again? You're going to have a slumber party at her place? I hope I never meet her. I do want to meet her. I know I don't want to meet her. Yes, I do. And you know what I mean? So I was so afraid for them to meet and like scrap it out because they, even though they never met, and I don't know how well they would get along, they were just, I was afraid they would ever be locked in a room together. You know what I'm saying? And then as I got older, this is me as a kid, but then when I got older, female friends were the same way. So I just think there's a little bit of a dynamic when you're uh, a kid who's going to grow up and be gay, that girls become very close to you and very like needy of your attention. And so even as an adult, whenever I would have a female best friend, if I was gonna, even female coworkers, my best friend would be like, oh really, you think she's funny? Is she funnier than me? Like I'd be like, you're not even jealous of your boyfriend talking to other girls or women, but you're jealous when I do. So that's kind of the core of their dynamic. They were siblings. They're either close in age or they're twins. Growing up, you know, they're very close. And then now that he's in high school, he's made a new best friend, and she can't handle it. And like they're jealous of each other. So he's thinking that they'll have a slumber party, and that's how they get to know each other. He's trying to make them get along so that he can just go on, you know, hang out with both of them at the same time. So once they are, you know, once they've gotten acquainted and they're getting along, I'll figure out what outfits I want them to wear. I know what I know, I have to figure out what she's going to wear when things are patched up, but I know what they're going to wear. So I always like to put these probably immature, juvenile, silly stories that either pertain to my life or just something that comes to my head on my dolls. So thanks for listening. And let me get to the I think it's the last custom I have, but I have more to do after the custom. So let me move it right along. Now I have to go back to the story I was telling about the dolls that they put on sale. KMF31, who's right beside me, this is my favorite Maplelea doll. Her name is Tamika. She's one of the ones that they put on sale. So there were other dolls too that I thought, oh, I can make customs. But I was like, no, just stick to what you already have planned. But the problem was, so I bought 2 of KMF51, spoiler, because I had that number in my head for so long, having forgotten that one of the 2 customs I had planned, I already accomplished with Dawson, who was from the last segment, the long wavy wig. So because I had that number in my head, as soon as the sale came up and KMF51 was on it, I just pounced and ordered 2 of them. So I ended up making the first one I'm going to bring out of these 2 customs here. The first one is not one I had planned, and she ended up doing a wig swap with another one of my custom dolls. And I currently like the way they both look. I'm not saying it's permanent, but the character is permanent. I just don't know if she's going to keep this wig forever. Her name is Charisse. And so she's wearing a wig made by somebody named Monique. There was a website. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace. I've showed this wig so many times. One of my favorite customs, one of my favorite dolls was wearing it. So now I think anybody out there who liked that doll, whose name is Onika, is probably like, how dare you give away Onika's wig? But Onika's wearing her wig, and she looks really cute. And then I'm looking over at her, I'm saying this. But I could have brought it over, but I didn't. So don't worry, she may get this back one day. But let me bring it close because I love this wig so much. And I think it has totally changed. Like every time, all it takes is a wig swap, and it's a totally different doll. She's wearing a little bit of a mix and match of other Maplelea pieces. This is one of Taryn's tops. Oh, and she's also got a, what do you call that? Nope, wrong hand. An American Girl ring. But you don't, like I said, you can only put it on the outside fingers. And oh, these are Taryn's shorts. And I don't even know what denim shoes these are, but I liked it. I can't say it's a perfect match. And like I said, this doll was kind of a spur of the moment putting her together because I messed up when I ordered 2 dolls. But I don't mind. I don't mind having another KMF51 to have customized. I just don't know if this is going to be the final product. But I still did want to share her because I will show this wig as many times as I possibly can. But I'm going to put her away now, like just off screen, because the one that I really had planned, that I ordered one of the 2 dolls for, coming from this side, turned out even better than I pictured. I'm so excited. I'm trying to hype you up because I don't know if you're ready. But I thought that the character I'm about to bring up was going to be a sibling to the last KMF51 custom I showed you. But once I got this doll dressed, it's going to be this doll's sibling. And notice I'm being vague with the pronouns because I made a boy out of KM51, and look at how cute he is. I'm going to bring him close. So it also has a great outfit. So, but first things first. So if you're wondering what the wig is, I have 3 Truly Me 77 dolls. And I did buy the last one thinking, it was to do a custom. I fell in love with the wig so much, I had a hard time swapping it out. But then I had the perfect reason to do the swap out. And I always knew when I was planning to do a KMF51 boy custom, it was going to be with this wig because I love this wig so much. And I just didn't think it was going to look as cute as it did. Because sometimes when you're placing a wig, it doesn't look good until you really find that magical place. You know what I mean? Like that magical setting. And then the outfit brings it all together. And here's the other kicker about the Truly Me 77 wig. It's very hard to remove. So one piece of advice I have for anyone out there who's thinking about doing it yourself, the best method I can say is don't do it. Honestly, at one point I thought it was on there in strips because it just kept tearing. It was like, how do I explain it? So the rim, there's the band around the outside. As I was removing it, it was detaching from the rest of the wig cap. So I had to go out. I am so injured. My hands have been in such a state for the last few days while they've been healing. So if you've seen me in any other videos and I look all busted up, it's because of this wig. I'm telling you, this wig. And not even that. So it's not her, but the doll previously, the wig was my first time having trouble removing a Maplelea wig. Usually I just grab a piece and roll it right back and it's so easy. This time, again, after injuring my hands, I had to dip the entire doll's head, like the wig itself, into boiled water. Not in the pot on the stove, but in a boil of water to loosen the glue because it was not I don't know what happened, but it was not coming apart. So this doll, it's a good thing he's so cute because I went through a lot to get this wig swapped. His name is, I don't know why, but his name is Trace, and it's not, it wasn't the name I was hoping. Sometimes I think dolls name themselves, right? And it's not the name I want him to have, but it's the name he wants to have, so that's his name. His name is Trace. He's Tamika's brother, and they live in a mining town. I just haven't figured out where it is yet, but I know that's their story, and that's why they're so Canadian. Now if you want to know what he's wearing, this is an American Girl toque. He's Canadian, so I can call it that. I have two pairs of these shoes now. I got these in a lot. These are handmade jeans that were made by somebody in Canada, and he stole an American Girl. I love putting American Girl cell phones in their hands because they have the perfect grip to hold them, that it won't fall out. You don't need that case with the weird rubber band. And then he's wearing other Maplelea pieces, American Girl. I don't think he's going to keep these. I thought he would. They don't fit his head properly. And then somebody was selling this backpack on one of the doll groups. They had 4 of them. I wish I'd bought all 4 of them, but I was like, no, don't be greedy. Other people may want it too, but be greedy, Blaine. No, I'm kidding. It's really cool though. So it comes with this True North. It's like a journal. It's empty, it's blank pages inside, but it really opens up like a real book. It's a fake leather backpack. So if you ever see this, it was new in box, like came with the journal pages and everything. So I didn't know this existed until I knew it existed. And it's really, I love it. I love everything about this doll. I'm so happy he came together, you know, through my literal blood, sweat, and tears. But he's here now. And I have had this doll in my head for so long that I can't believe he actually looks better. Because you know, sometimes you're just anticipating something, it can't live up to the hype. He exceeded it. So I'm really happy about that. And because I'm never done on these videos, I still have, what I'm going to do is I have a couple doll outfits because Maplelea also had a sale. This is separate outside of the damaged box dolls that they had a sale on. They had a sale on a couple outfits. So I bought 2 of them, and I'm not going to dress the dolls on screen. Yeah, I'll show you the outfits and then I will dress them off screen and then just come back and show them to you. That'll make things faster. Brianne's going to join me for the first outfit unboxing because it's part of her collection. It's her Ukrainian dance outfit. And what I said a moment ago, that I bought these outfits because they were on sale. This one's not on sale. The next one is. This one I got because I went to the Last Chance boutique, and I really do want this outfit because now that I have this new Brianne to replace my old scary one, I've fallen in love with her. So I already did have a lot of her collection because I like a lot of her collection, but now I feel compelled to finish it off. Even if she's not going to be the one wearing the outfit, I at least want to have it. You know what I mean? Just in case. So they have sort of this outfit section called Heritage Outfits, I believe it is. And because she's Ukrainian, that's why her background is Ukrainian. And I'm just going to let you know, I was going to have Kirsten try on this outfit, but when I went to the only one I have in the newer body type, she has her bonnet on and it's factory tied, so I didn't want to do that. So I've chosen another doll to model it in a second. But first I want to show you the pieces. All that nonsense for nothing. Because she comes with a flower crown, which reminds me of Kirsten's birthday outfit. And because Kirsten has the same kind of aesthetic as Brianne, but I'm going with something else. So I don't know if you can make out all the details from there. Is it focusing in? There's some sparkle elements in the flowers, if you see like this part of the flowers, and they're all flocked. So all the flowers are soft. Yeah, all of them, except for the yellow ones. So the other ones are just plain flat fabric, but they still have details in the middle of the flower. I forget what that part of the flower is called. I'm just trying to cover my face. And then the ribbon detail is familiar from Brianne's outfit, Kirsten's outfit, her birthday outfit. Now these boots, they look so funny online in some of the pictures, but I can already see that they have a nice shape. And they should be able to go on an American Girl foot okay. They're like a fake leather with a pretty thin sole and a tiny little heel. And then they're stuffed with tissue, which I'll have to remember later when I have to go put it on a doll, because I'm really bad at just shoving dolls' feet in there and they don't fit. And there's this top. I'm sure it has a proper name, but I don't know it. The flowers are embroidered, black and red. So yeah, there's a lot of embroidered detailing. And what is that, a yarn ribbon coming down? No, yeah, string. So this, again, feels really nice. It's got an elasticated neckline and Velcro on the back. I'm not going to dress it all on camera, so I'm trying to show you everything just to give you all the details, because you're not going to see it when I go to dress the doll. And then this is an elasticated waistband, more embroidered flowers. And I always and within any doll community I've been in, people love embroidered anything. So that's why I feel like that's probably a nice detail for people to know exists. It's a ribbon that's going around the waist, and are these embroidered? Or it's just like a rickrack, is that what this kind of thing's called? This kind of trim? So it's not embroidered, it's woven that way. And just a plain blue, well, not plain blue, but like a bright blue for the, what would you call this? Some kind of skirt. It probably tells you in the journal pages. Maybe I should have gone there first. And hers is called, oh no, Dancing in Dauphin. I'll show you. I'll bring the journal page up close so you can read it yourself and roast me in the comments for not knowing how to pronounce this word. Because I'm sure it's where she's from, where her family's from. So there you go. Just get this out of the way. Well, so here are, what happens, what you get with the journal pages is it'll be one in French, one page in English, and then a blank page. And I tell you that I say that in these videos all the time. So chances are you already know. And it doesn't seem to be listing. Okay, white embroidered Poltava blouse, white embroidered underskirt, blue apron. That's all it was, an apron. I couldn't have thought of that word. With trim and red satin sash belt. Yeah, I guess it's red. Or, yeah, satin sash belt, not ribbon. Wreath of red poppies, yellow and white daisies, blue cornflowers and ribbons. Collectible journal page. Okay, so as I said, I'm not going to dress her on camera. I'm just going to bring out the doll already dressed. Now, the truth is, it looks really good on her. I think Anna is probably a better model than Kirsten would have been. No shade against Kirsten. It's just she looks so cute with her red hair. And the outfit, all the pieces look really good. The only thing I want to note is that their legs are thicker, American Girl. So there's this is as close as I can get the Velcro. And as you can see, it goes on, can you see? It goes on looser. So this is me playing around with it a bit to get it to, I didn't stretch it out, I didn't do anything like that, but I'm just, squeezing it and trying to get it as tight as I could. It still looks fine. Like if anybody was curious about this for their American Girl doll, it's a really great fit. I didn't do the greatest job on the ribbon because I didn't want to, I didn't want to ruin the ribbon because I think once you tie it, it's going to kind of take that shape. But I'm hoping you can catch how detailed and high quality everything about this outfit is. It looks wonderful. And I'm gonna have to find a doll to wear this permanently. I think I would prefer, because of the boots, I think I would prefer if a Maplelea doll wore it. Maybe not Brienne right away, because I love her in her nightgown is what it's called. And it's part of her collection too, so if anybody's ever curious, I've had her in the background sometimes. But anyway, back to this outfit. I would definitely recommend this one if it appealed to you at all, or if it, I don't know if it's, I know it's a different culture from the Midsommar movie, but it still kind of gives me that vibe. I think it's all Nordic, right? Is that all Nordic regions? I'm probably really, really wrong. But anyway, I do love it, and I'm really glad I got it. I should probably mention that sometimes when things go into the last chance boutique, they do restock later. So even if it does sell out, I can't say for sure it's going to stay that way. It may come back. But if you are worried about it, it's in the last chance, and it's a really good price for all the stuff that comes with it. Anytime a Maplelea outfit comes with shoes, because they do a really good job on their shoes, whether they fit your doll's feet to your preference or not, or to your taste, that's another thing, another story, but love it. So now let me get to the outfit that actually was on sale. This is definitely one of Maplelea's simplest outfits. In fact, it was included in the holiday bundle that they did this year. Sometimes they'll take a doll and she'll be nude and come with a different outfit. And this was the outfit. It's called the Love of Letters. For the Love of Letters. And if you're curious, I'm going to put it with these shoes, even though the outfit's pink and the shoes are red. But I bought these shoes to go with Kavi's outfit that I showed earlier, her Bollywood dance costume. And then I didn't need these because of the gold shoes that I happen to get later on. And they also put their sunglasses, their eyewear on sale. So whatever ones I didn't have already, I bought because I love Maplelea sunglasses. I'll show them after, but first I'm going to start with Love for the Love of Letters outfit. And of course, journal pages for the Love of Letters. I guess it's talking about sending love letters, getting mail in your mailbox. How old school. I don't think I need to delve too deep into that. It's just a top, pants, and a hairband. So I don't have much to show before I get to the other pieces and then just bring out a doll wearing this. Okay, so it's pink, stretchy, kind of not as soft as usual. What would I compare it to? Like you know, when you have a sweater that's soft on the inside and not very soft on the outside, that's what it feels like, that kind of material, but it's not soft on the inside. And they have flowers. I don't know why, but in the pictures, maybe I didn't really look. I thought it was hearts because the top and the hairband have hearts. Same kind of feeling material. Is it soft inside? No, this is the exact same material, but white. And then this has hearts coming out of an envelope. And then there's a hairband here with just three. Oh, the hairband soft, kind of velvety. And then it's got three hearts. And I will show it on a doll, but I don't know if I would ever, I don't think I would ever use this. The outfit's cute, but I just don't need that. So here are the shoes, just a quick, I don't even know if I need to show them that hard, but they have hearts on them too. Okay, so even though red and pink are supposed to clash, I don't know. I like how they look together sometimes. So now the journal page, happy, healthy heart. That's for the shoes. What are the shoes called? Did I even, there's no sticker. Heartstring. Okay, heartstring shoes. Yeah, I get it now. So that's the English page. Don't need to see that very much, right? I hope I'm not always breezing through the journal pages. Some people say they like to see it, but I don't know if it's that. I don't know if I'm that fascinated with it when I'm doing these unboxings. These are called the blue sunglasses. Deep, right? Okay, no journal pages, so at least I don't have to bore you with or at least I don't have to entertain you with those. So these are just plain blue. Okay, so they're nice. They're pretty good. I think these are often shown on Charles C. Just trying to figure out what kind of finish they have, if they're reflective or if they're just kind of a little bit smoky, you know, like the sunglasses color. And then these are fuchsia sunglasses. I think they're the exact same, but in fuchsia. But they were on sale. I think they were only like $6, so why would I not? And I could probably wear them with that For the Love of Letters outfit. Yeah, nothing much to see. But I will still show it to you on a doll. I'm just gonna bring her out clothed. And I couldn't show Anna, and then not show her sister Elsa. So Elsa's the one who is modeling the second outfit. So if you want to see how this fits, ignore the pearls on her neck. I just had it's what she was wearing before. I didn't feel like taking them off and then having to put them back on. It's a cute fit. I like the way it fits her chubbier little legs. I say chubbier because the Maplelea dolls are really skinny. The shoes went on no problem. Like I said before, if it's up to your taste if you like how it looks or not, because the feet are really quite different. Even though a lot of the times the shoes can fit, sunglasses doesn't look nice with this outfit. I don't really love. I do like red with pink, but I don't totally love it with this outfit, to be honest. If you want to see the blue ones, why not? Blue is more her color anyway. Are they the exact same? Yeah. And you know what? The headband's actually not as bad as I thought, and maybe I would use it. So here you go. If you're wondering how these fit American Girl, because like I said, well, they were on sale when I bought them. I don't really think they are anymore, but they're still cheap even if they're not on sale. So if you want to see the hairband, she's got some jewels in her hair, and I was trying to cover it with the headband. So you have to ignore that a little bit if you're curious. But yeah, I think they're cute little capris is what they would be, right? That's a capri. And is that a peplum top? Is that what that would be with these things down here? I don't know. I don't know enough about fashion. And if you're curious, you could easily, it doesn't really expose her neckline, but if the neck joint is a little bit visible, you could easily pull this back. So I'm not trying to hide anything with the pearls, is what the point I was making there. And now I just want to go grab the dolls this video was supposed to be about and bring them back for a little closing shot. So here they are. Basically, every final Maplelea doll I needed from my wish list. So I have every Maplelea doll I want of what exists currently so far that I know of. There could be other blurry pictures that I haven't been able to decipher as desirable dolls for me yet. And out of all the dolls, the only one whose name has come to me so far is Willow. She's the one who, she's the reason I have all these dolls pretty much. And I want to thank everyone again. I think I did earlier when I was, you know, going through it in my excitement. So if you managed to stick around this long, thank you so much. And I hope some of these dolls are starting to grow on you, because wow, they've really grown on me, and I'm so like proud, I think, to have all these dolls. It's amazing that the fast journey I went on to get everything, and now I can just kind of relax and enjoy them. I hope. I hope I'm done. As in, there's nothing else I need to buy from Maplelea right now. I think I have everything. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon in the next one.